Tell me what happened. What did you do to your daughter?
I molested my daughter for a period of 2 to 3 years. Time she was 5 to 8.
So you do admit that you did do it.
Yes, sir.
Was there any intercourse?
No, sir.
Okay, so what was the molestation consist of?
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvened at Ridgewood Parish Detention Center. My name is Pearl Wise, and to my left, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Pearl Wise. To my left is Mr. Roche. To my right is Mr. Freeman. Will the staff at Richland please introduce yourselves?
Deputy Jackson.
All right, Deputy Jackson, and you know the protocol. We're gonna want your input at some point in the hearing. All right, thank you. So although Mr. Dennis, you've been through this before, I'm going to explain the process. We're gonna read some information into the record. Afterwards, we're gonna conduct an interview with you, starting with Mr. Freeman. You have no visitors, and so after we finish with our interview, we're gonna give you an opportunity to make a final statement, a closing statement. Tell us whatever you want us to know. And then after that, we'll render our decision. And you understand the process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm going to read the information record. Your name is Dennis Heath Mahoney. DOC number is 498644. You're listed as a first offender. Your offense is aggravated incest. You were sentenced on June 25th of 2005. Your sentence was 20 years hard labor. Your good time date, your parole eligibility date reflects February the 12th of 2012. You don't earn good time, and your full-time date is listed as June 20th of 2025. That sounds about right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, would you answer Mr. Freeman, please?
Okay, Mr. Mahoney, how old are you?
I'm 51 years old.
Okay, and how long have you served on this sentence?
I'm 1 month shy of 18 years.
Okay. And what's your educational level?
I completed high school before coming to prison. Since I've been in here, May of 2022, I received my Associate of Arts in General Studies from Ashland University. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor. It'll be in Applied Communications. I have 4 semesters to complete that. When I do, I'll have a minor in religion, sociology, and business administration.
Okay, that's great. Your last hearing was in 2019.
Yes, sir.
What other classes have you taken since 2019?
In 2019, after that hearing, I was transferred to Bayou Dorcheat Correctional Center to participate in a sex offender treatment program. Started it, things were shut down a little bit because that was a COVID year. Did finish up in August, the prescribed program that Mr. Johnson had laid out. I was supposed to take some other classes with that, but due to COVID, none of those happened. So I hate it, but it was, the pandemic.
The other classes, that was phase 4?
No, sir. He only prescribed to us to phase 1 through 3. That's what he had instructed us at the beginning. The other classes were accepting responsibility in a finger pointing world, victims awareness, some other those classes too that he was supposed to give us, but we weren't able to do because of COVID.
All right, there's a lot of statements. I mean, I've read all the arrest reports. I read your statements from different times. Tell me what happened. What did you do to your daughter?
I molested my daughter for a period of 2 to 3 years. Time she was 5 to 8.
So you do admit that you did do it?
Yes, sir.
Was there any intercourse?
No, sir.
Okay, so what was the molestation consist of?
Mouth to genital mostly. And touching and all that.
Did you know that, her brother was also touching her?
Sir?
Did you know that her brother was also touching her?
No, sir.
He had no indication of that.
No, sir.
Okay. You used to take showers with this young lady?
Yes, sir.
All right. As law enforcement, the judge is opposed. District attorney is opposed. Sheriff Steve Prater is opposed. The chief is opposed. Your family and father is unopposed. And he said he would provide you with his home, a place to stay. What kind of effect you think this had on your daughter?
I know it had a bad effect on her. I know it was harmful and hurtful. Through my incarceration and through programs that I took early on with Blue Walters and talking with the staff there, I come to realize that I myself had been molested as a child. There's a period of my elementary school I know nothing about. And through talking with my family and my dad about it, he told me that I was with my grandfather for a period of time during those. My grandfather also molested my mother and my sister. So I know the effects that it had, you know, and the detrimental part of it.
Okay. Have you received any counseling or anything for you being molested?
No, sir. Well, I say no, sir. I worked for the chaplain when I was in Jackson Parish, and there was periods of times that me and him would talk and counsel with me there. And I hated, he wound up passing away in 21. So I will miss him.
Okay. The victim's mother, Anjanette, I'm not even trying to pronounce that name, Krista's son, I guess. She's strongly opposed, so is your victim. She's very strongly opposed. And you know, and it has caused problems with her in her life, even though she's doing the best that she can to move on with it. I want to put that on the record. What would you say to the victim and her mother if you had the opportunity?
If I had the opportunity, I would tell them that I apologize and that I'm sorry for my actions. I place no blame on either of them for anything that happened. It's all my fault. You know, and that's part of what I understood through taking a course of accepted responsibility. You know, we have the choices for our actions, and it's the actions that I took that caused this, you know, and I apologize for it.
Your risk is low. I have no further questions.
No questions.
Mr. Mahoney, if you're successful today, what is your transition plan?
My transition plan is, you know, in the beginning is to go stay with my dad. He does have a house and a place for me to stay, not only the one he lives in currently, but he's also maintained the residence that I grew up in.
And if that's the one that you and your sister was living in? together? Is it that
I'm
house?
One on Savannah. I have two
Oh.
addresses. One's in Bossier City and one's in Shreveport.
Hmm.
And so
But what I'm asking, at the time of this offense, you were living with your sister at one time, right? Y'all share the house. Is it the same house?
Well,
No.
depends on which sister. I have one biological sister. She's older than me.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. So go ahead and tell me your transition plan.
Yeah. Now my brother has also offered me a place to stay in Ohio with him, if I need to. If I'm granted today, depending on my release, I'm going to continue my bachelor's degree because I do have exactly 4 semesters left. So I will, Ashland provides an opportunity for me to finish that. They will provide me with all the material I need from laptops to books so I can continue that education and receive my bachelor's degree.
So you're gonna live with your father or in some of his property. How are you gonna support yourself?
Well, right now I'm not positive because I have been locked up for 18 years. A lot of stuff has changed around the area. I'm not sure about employment, but I will go seek employment. Somewhere I enjoy office work. That's mostly what I've done while I've been incarcerated, working for the chaplain in Jackson. I've also worked in the kitchen when I was at Webster, from scullery work to line server to being the inventory and stock manager, over our stuff. So that's something that I'm kind of looking forward maybe to trying, is to get into somewhere that has an inventory or inventory control type environment that I can do that type of work again.
Okay. All right. That's all the questions I have. We have no visitors. So Mr. Sir.
I just want to say I apologize that my dad couldn't make it. He wasn't aware of how to do this. We've talked, and he had called the parole office there in Shreveport and some other places to try to find a way to do it because he really wanted to be here. He's been with me at every other of my hearings in 2011 and in 2019. And I hate that he just could not be here today.
Okay, all right. I do too. Okay. All right, sir. What you want us to know what has he been doing around there?
Honestly, he's been a model inmate. I haven't had any issues as far as write-ups or anything like that. No disrespect or anything from him.
Okay. What does he do every day for the institution? Yeah,
He's in his dorm. He go to classes often as far as his college classes.
Yeah. Can I speak to him on that? May I speak to you on that?
and the officer finishes whenever he finishes. Anything else you want us to know, sir?
That's all he does. He goes to his college classes, on regular basis. They give him a computer laptop to take in the dorms with them to do their classes, to do their school work. And they can daily get those laptops on a daily basis.
All right, thank you, sir. I appreciate your input. It's valuable to our decision making. All right, so what you want us to know, Dennis, about this class?
Well, what I want to add as far as doing, besides being in the dorm and doing my college work, I do clean the dorm up in the mornings because I am in a work release dorm, and I'm one of a few people that doesn't leave the dorm. So I usually clean up in the mornings with the chemicals and stuff and make sure that's taken care of, as far as the toilets, the showers, and all that is cleaned up in the morning for the rest of the guys.
Oh, good. Okay. Sanitize the area. Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Are there any further questions? No. All right. So give us your final statement, Dennis. What do you want us to know before we vote?
Well, I just want to first thank y'all for giving me this opportunity today to come before the board. If I was granted parole today, I can let you know that I would strive to be a better citizen and to be productive into the community that I'm going to be going to. It's been a long road of incarceration. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about life and how to deal with things. I've maintained a clean record for 18 years. I have no write-ups, no disciplinary reports for the 18 years that I've been incarcerated. I've gotten along with all the staff of every facility I've been at. So I just have put my faith in God early on and asked him to carry me through and to protect me in each step of the way that he's guided me in that. He's always brought me to facilities where his presence is felt. I've prayed about a lot of places to go. And, the main point behind my prayer is always someplace it's a spiritual blessing or something that's going to edify me. He's never sent me to a facility where there's a lot of trouble, there's a lot of fights or anything of that nature. He's always guided my path and set me in that. I was kind of heartbroken when I got shipped from Webster to come here, but I had to remember, and I told my dad this on the phone, passage of scripture in Acts chapter 17, verse 26, that says, God set the times and places that men should live, that they should seek him, reach out to him, and find him. So God has always got our place and time. God's always got everything lined out for us. He knows where we're going to be. He knows the times we're going to be there. But the key point is always to seek him and reach out to him. And that's what I've done in every place I've been, is always put God first in my life and in my decisions. And he's helped me to stay sane, through the 18 years and become a better person now than what it was when I came in. Because when I came in, I know I was tore up. I don't have an excuse for my action. I know I suffered a lot, and sometimes it's shown its effect here in prison with a little bit of depression, but I've always handled it through journaling and writing, and that's what I've done while I've been here. I had a lot of dark days, and I hate to say I apologize for what I do, and I've just set out to be a better person now than what I was, and that's what I'm continuing to strive for. I've attended, AA meetings. They've helped me a lot. I plan on doing the same thing when I go home. I intend to celebrate recovery. There's a lot of places that continue to celebrate recovery. I plan on finding me those meetings to continue to go to, because it's people, the only people that understand me is people that's been in my place and been in my position. So anybody that suffered with addiction or any kind of problems, be it alcohol, pornography, drug, that's the ones that I need to talk to, and that's the kind of support I know I can find from those people. So, to close out, I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity again today, and thank you.
Well, we didn't mention that, but you do have a history of watching pornography, and that is in history.
Yes, ma'am.
And I forgot to mention that as well. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
That's all for the executive session.
We have a motion for executive session. Roll call, please. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. At this time, we'll be in executive session to discuss confidential matters related to your case. Just stand by, sir. We'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
So this crime actually began when she was only 5 years old. The biological parents had gotten a divorce, and the mom moved to Utah, and the defendant was the primary custodian for the school year. They would visit their mom only during summer vacations and school holidays. So July 2002, the children were visiting their mom, and the mom found some disturbing information inside of her daughter's diary, and she was only 8 years old at the time. And so he was subsequently arrested for aggravated incest. During his guilty plea colloquy, he admitted to committing between 60 and 70 acts against his own daughter. And all the paperwork that I went through, it wasn't documented that her brother touched her. So that was a very, very big shock for me. It really hurts me to think about what this young girl was going through. Two people, her father and her brother, who were supposed to protect her, were hurting her. And I had to think about it. She didn't even tell her mom. She wrote it in her diary. At 8 years old, you weren't supposed to be exposed to that type of thing, let alone write about it. That displays her loneliness and how much she was overlooked. So, of course, I have the link to the case overview, and I'll leave a link in the description box for you to review.
The panel is, parole is reconvening at 11:24 a.m. at Richmond Parish Detention Center with Dennis Mahoney, 498644. After executive session, the panel is ready to vote. Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Mahoney. It's a tough, real tough. What you did was very heinous. You know, it's your own biological daughter. It's a tough case. But my vote today is going to be to grant, with the condition that you're to absolutely have no contact with the victim or her mother, that you're not to reside in the same state as the victim or the mother. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I want you on that 2 years of supervision with probation and parole.
Yes, sir.
I want them to monitor you. I want them to ensure you continue sex offender treatment. Which if you wait till your good time date, then there would be no treatment that you have to go to. So that's my vote today. I have nothing else to say. Don't let me down, because I promise you I'll hammer you next time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Mr. Roche.
Ms. Mahoney, based upon overwhelming opposition from the judge, the DA's office, law enforcement, the victim of this crime is still emotionally, mentally, and physically affected by your egregious crime, and she is vehemently opposed. The victim's mother is adamantly opposed, and I'd like to see the fourth phase of sex offender treatment. Therefore, I am denying your request.
At this point, Mr. Mahoney, thank you, Mr. Roche. You have one vote to grant, one vote to deny. My vote is to grant. Due to the time served and the opportunity on supervision for you to have more monitoring, that's important. Your excellent disciplinary history while you're incarcerated, and your own insights, the insights that you voiced today, and the fact that you owned your crime. You could state it with freedom what you did. You owned it. I mean, you did a great harm. You healed yourself, and you've been helping others, and that's all I can ask. But unfortunately, sir, due to your offense, a vote of 2-1 in favor would not release you. So I encourage you to reapply as soon as you are eligible, and just stay busy. Best wishes to you, sir. But you've been denied a vote of 2-1.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Well, this was my last opportunity because I do have to wait 2 years from denial. So I won't have another opportunity to see y'all, but I do thank you for your time. I know I've seen you, Ms. Weiss, several times through my hearings, and I do thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. And I was glad to be able to give you a yes this time. I really was. Richmond Parish, thank y'all for accommodating us so excellently this morning.
Ma'am.
Appreciate y'all. Have a good day.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good day.